this video, we're going to look at some images generated by the new version V5. If you have a paid MidJourney account, you see this message. You can go ahead and rate the images. They tell us here the images are not representative for version 5, and they gave the example that also some of the images they showed for version 4 are very different than we see the images in version 4 now. So we can't say that these are the images that will really be generated by version number 5, but still you will see that especially the eyes and the fingers, the hands and the faces are much better. So let's do a little rating party together. Let's rate all the images, and I'd like you to comment in the comment section how you find the images, or if you have a very different opinion. So what we're gonna do now is we help MidJourney to rate some images to understand if the quality of the images is good or not. And sometimes, as you will see, it will not be that easy to rate. So in this case, we see two images of angels in a Christmas ball. So I prefer the first one here because it's much nicer detail, so we'll just rate this one. Then we have this more blurry one with some of these tree creatures, and we have this one. I think the quality is much better on this one, so I will rate this one. We have a logo here. I prefer the one on the left side. We have a pair of shoes. This one looks good, but the structure of the shoes, I would say, doesn't look right, so I will pick this white boot here. It looks better to me. Then, I mean, it's really personal taste, right? But here I like much more this image because the structure is much nicer and it's much clearer. If you look at that, it's also nice, but it's not as clear and as nice. Now, as we see here, this looks really good. If you look at the eyes, it's a little different. It looks a little strange maybe, but overall look at the fingers. Look, the fingers are all okay. This really looks very good. If you look at this one, it's also pretty good, but we see here this guy lost his fingers already. Maybe this is the purpose, but I will just rate the right one, the better one, because it's much nicer. Also in this case, I think you can see that the colors and the sharpness of the image is much better on this one than on this one. This is a little blurry, so I will also rate this one. In the case of the book, I think it's, again, this seems to be a little blurry. It's also very nice, but I like this one better. It seems to have much more details, so I will rate this one. The next one is also, I like the right one. It's better and brighter. Here the details are much nicer on the left one. In this case also, look how much difference this is actually. Here on the right one you see all the details and how sharp it is and how the colors are actually nice. And here this is pretty blurry one. It's more like a painting. This is more like a photograph. Also in this case you see the right version is really nice and it's really improving, as I would say. So I'm quite sure this is a good version 5. And in this case also this looks also not bad, but if you look at this version, it's much more details. You have the tattoos in the face, you have very small parts of the face, and the details look really good. So I will pick this one. Also in this case, I mean, it's not very good, but we don't know what the image prompt was. But of course, this is much better than this one. But the question is, if they wanted to make it like a doll looking like face, this is left one is better. Looks much more realistic. So I will pick this one. In this case, I will just pick this one. This is not special. Also here we can see this has got a lot of color and a lot of pep to it. I'm not sure if it should be like, if you look at the legs, this is a little confusing, but there's basically 3 monkeys on, and this one there's 2 monkeys, but we have problems with the fingers here, it looks like, so I will pick the right one as well. In this case, this one looks nice and painted. This one looks much more realistic, so I will pick the left one here. This is some kind of logo. I will also pick the left one. In this case, a flaming burger. Let's zoom in on that. This really looks photorealistic. Wow, it looks really great. This one, if you make it bigger, looks also great. So it's hard to decide for me in this case. Put in the comment what you would pick. So I like cheese. I will pick this one. So now these two faces, let's have a look. I think this is pretty good. This one is also pretty good and has much more, much more structure, much more meaning. So I will pick this one. This one is pretty nice. This one looks more like some kind of doll or something, but I think both are nice. I will just pick this one. In this case, I will pick the right one. It really looks very realistic. I like it. Here we have very similar images, I would say. This we have much better background. It's much more photorealistic. The hand doesn't look too good, but it's fine. Here we can't really compare it because there is no hand. So in this case, I will just pick maybe the left one. It's hard to decide. Here we have a web design. In this case, you see it's pretty nice, UI, UX generated probably. In this case, it's also very nice. Let's zoom in on the images. Here you see the faces are really still messed up. What about in this version? In this version, we have much clearer faces, but the hand is still pretty messed up. So, and this is pretty funny. Look at this, how big the feet are here. So the proportions of this is not really great. So I will pick this one because of the proportions. Here we have, I don't know if it's Che Guevara or who it is, but also the details in this is much better. If you look at the face, this is really a nice structure and a very natural looking face. In this case, it's also pretty nice, but it looks more like some kind of doll. So I will pick this one. Here we have a book, seems to be in a boat. So here it's okay, but it's really blurry and not too many details, but still it's the better version, right? Depends what the image prompt was, but I prefer this one more because it looks more photorealistic. In this case, also clearly we can see this is a painting. The problem or the thing is we never know what the image prompt was, right? So this looks pretty good to me. I will pick this one. Here also in this case looks quite nice. Here the fingers, if you look at the fingers, the thumb is not really at the right position. I would say it looks a little strange. Here it's better. Not exactly, but I will pick this one because it looks much more photorealistic. Also in this case, this is pretty nice, but it's more like out of an animation movie, and this is much more photorealistic. In this case, they got almost everything right, so I really like this one, and I will pick that image. Here also, it's hard to decide. They're both pretty good, I would say. So this one compared to this one, probably the left one is a little better. Here we have a scene from the Middle Ages, I guess, in some place. So this one, it looks like a nice painting. This one looks much more realistic. So I will pick the right one here. Also here, this is the kid close, pretty good, I would say. But I prefer this one because there's much more emotions in there. The fingers are pretty good. The face is really nice. So I really like that one and I picked this one. Also in this case, I prefer the right one. It's clearer, it's much nicer painted, but this is personal taste. So we'll just pick this one. Here we have a jumping woman or a woman in the snow, maybe, I don't know. This is okay, I would say. This is a little messed up if you look at the face and so on, but still very nice. So I will pick the first one here. Then we have a cave, also very nice here. If you look at that, this really looks photorealistic. You can't really say that this is not an image. Also, this looks pretty good, really pretty good. So I will pick, hard to pick, I will pick the right one. Here this lady, wow, this is a good result. Here the lady looks pretty depressed in her room. If you look at the face, doesn't look too good here. If you look at that, this is much more photorealistic. So I really like that one. I will rate this one. Here we have an abandoned building. If we zoom it in, pretty good. Look at this. Nobody can tell it's not an image shot by camera. So we'll pick the first one. Wow, and this one. Isn't that great? This raccoon reaching for the stars or receiving the energy from the universe. And this one, oh, both very nice, but I like the emotions more in this one. Here, this, I don't know, slime monster, what it is, I also picked the right one because it's more photorealistic. And I think in this case, you really see a big difference. Here, it's a very nice picture of flowers, but if you zoom in more, this is kind of a strange structure. It looks more painted as you see here. If you go over here, it still looks a little painted, but in the size of this, it looks much more natural. So I picked this one. Then we have also two nice images here, which this one does have some humans inside. This one not. It's hard to say. I picked the left one. Here we have a castle next to a river. And we make it a little bigger. I like this one. It's not so sharp, but it's good. And this one is also nice. Very nice, I would say. So let's see. I prefer the left one because I think the lightning is a little better. Here, another very nice one. Let's zoom in and look at the details. So in this case, yeah, I like the details very much. You see, it's hard to decide. Let's go for this because I'll go for the right one. Here we have Jesus showing his big heart. And it's also hard to decide. I think both of the versions are pretty good. I prefer this one, so I go for this one. And elephant. Wow, this is a really nice elephant. I don't think that the structure of the ears is too natural in this case. Even I like the details more on this. But as you see here, the feet, there's too much structure already. So I prefer this one because it looks, even the left one looks more clear. But I think this is more natural. So in this case, it's also very nice. This is pretty flat, and this is, I think I like this better, the right one, because of the structure. I hope they will get the text better in the next versions. Also, this is pretty nice. I would say the lady is pretty well generated. I can't see anything that shouldn't be there. This is pretty good. And here this room with, maybe they're waiting for the rocket to start, also looks pretty good. I go for the lady. Here we have a rhino in some home. The rhino itself I think is much better on this one generated. But I like the colors more on the right one because it's shining, the wood is shining more. So it's hard to tell, but I will go for the left one. Also like the details more. In this case, I will clearly go. I mean, the monkey here looks really good. How many fingers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Okay, it looks a little strange here. The feet look also a little strange, like they would have a spider. And this one, I think this is much better, the right one. Then we have an image of this boy here in these rooms. It's hard to tell. I will go for the right image because I like the structures on the wall. Then we have this one where we caught the alien and put it into this tank. And here it's pretty good, but I prefer this one because of the lighting and of the colors. We have some cartoon or some creatures here, a dog and this guy. So clearly, I mean, the structure is really nice on the head, as you see, because you see the texture of it. The eyes are good. The dog is also pretty good. So I don't know. I go for the dog because I like dogs. Here we have some women not dressed too well, I would say. I mean, the face is okay, I would say. Then here the hands are not done that well. So I go for this one. Here we have a toast in front of a car, or whatever the image prompt was. I think this is pretty good one. And this one is also pretty nice. I can't decide really. I go for that because I like the structure of the table. Then in this case, the boy, this is a really nice structure, and the lightning, wherever it comes from, I go for the boy. This one is clear for me that I prefer this one. Let's look at the hands, the fingers. Fingers are actually better on the left one, so it's hard to decide. I go for the left one. Here we have some music instruments, and this looks a little generated. This to me looks much more natural. So go for the left one. We have the Ninja Turtles, also quite nice. This Ninja Turtles has much too big legs, I would say. This looks more natural to me. Leonardo, or I don't remember the other names anymore. So I go for this one. Oh, we have a stuffed chicken. This one looks yummy. So I need to go and eat something very soon. This one also looks nice. What should we pick? What would you pick? Write in the comments. I don't know, I picked the right one. So we have this bus here, and I really like the structure. Seems to be a Mercedes in this case. I like the left one more. I go for that. These two faces of this child or woman, the structure is pretty good on here. I think I go for the left one because it's much more realistic. Here it's like some kind of Stargate image where somebody is walking into a new universe or dimension. I like the right one more. And let's do, how many did we rate already? Let's check. We did 62 images already, so we can go up to 80, I would say, and then I can make a second one if you want to watch it. So let's see. What is better? Here I like the colors, I like the eyes. What about this one? I prefer the left one because it's more natural to me. This one, both of them are pretty good, I would say. Here the mouth, it's maybe a little too big, or the teeth. This looks even more natural to me, so I go and pick actually this one. Then here we have a scene with a moon and flowers and the sea. The moon, I would say, in both of the images don't look too natural, also the flowers in this one. Then we zoom it in. Here I like the right one more, even we have two moons, but who knows how many moons we have, right? Here the American flag, I prefer the left one because here it is more the structure and the old style. Here it looks more like it was patched together. It doesn't really fit too well. Also the lightning I prefer on the left one. A monkey, this is again hard to decide. I prefer this monkey here. It reminds me of Planet of the Monkeys, or how you call it in English, I don't know. So this one, it's too simple. I go for the left one. This we can see it's pretty similar. Let's zoom in. Some computer part, I guess. So I go for the left one. Here we have this creature, this Hulk or whatever it is, running around. The feet, yeah, we don't know how many toes they're supposed to have, right? So it's hard to say. I go for the left one. And in this case, for the boy with the wolf, I also go for this version here. I like that more. Even the wolf is better in this case here than this. This more looks like I don't know how you call them, but I go for that one. Now we have Donald Duck. It looks like this one is pretty nice state here. This one is more, he injured himself, so I will go for this one. Now we have pretty nice black and white images of a marina. I'm not sure, I can't go back, so we missed that. So we have some kind of pixel art here. I will also go for this one. This one is also okay, but there's much more details in that. We have a nice one here. So this is some kind of pop star, I guess, looks like. In both of the images, the face is pretty nice. Let's have a look again. I like more the left one. They are both really good, so I just press this one. In this case, I prefer the round one. This looks a little strange to me. I don't really like this one. This one is also pretty strange, but we never know what the image prompt was, right? A superhero we have here. This is pretty good. And in this case, this is even better, I would say. So I prefer this one. I will write this one. And we do 4 more. We have this guy standing in front of a portal. Look at the face, pretty good. The fingers look pretty good. In this case, it's very dark, but I think this right one is even better. So I go for that one. So we have some birthday cakes here with a woman on the right side and a man on the left side checking out something. They look to seem to be both very, very good. If you look at the details, I go over and have a look here. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Looks like he's eating a chicken. Nobody should see it. They are both pretty good. I like the left one more. It's more detailed. In this case, this woman here in this neon light, pretty good. The structure, everything is fine, but this is even better, I would say. So I go for the right image. And we do 2 more images. This some kind of logo. I don't know what it exactly should be. This one also some kind of logo. I go for the first one. And this is the last one we're rating. Looks like a scene from an old computer game. This one unfortunately is very dark, so we can't see much. This one is much better, so I go for this one. And this was the first 80 images we rated together. If you like that kind of rating, then come back. I will make a second video and I will try to help MidJourney as good as I can to rate images for them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel so it can grow and reach many more people. And please leave a like and put your thoughts in the comment. What do you think about the images? What do you think about the new version number 5? I hope that was helpful and I see you in one of the next videos. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye.